buds. Hey buds, welcome back to Thursday. I am your Thursday bud Danny. How you doing? So today, can you guess what we're talking about? We're talking about books. Some of the amazing things that God has given us are books. He has inspired writing. You guys know that I'm a writer. I'm writing my own series right now, and hopefully it'll get published someday. But anyways, other than being a writer, I am a huge reader. I never used to read when I was a kid. I hated reading because I wasn't super great at reading. But then I got into, like my mom said, the reason you don't like reading is because you haven't found, like, what you like to read yet. And she was right. And then one day, my mom brought me home the book Emily Wins Snap. It is a story about this human girl that finds out she's part mermaid. And it's a really great book. I've read it more than once. And it has an entire series. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 6 books right now. I'm pretty sure that Liz Kessler is still writing the series, so there could be more coming out, which I hope there is. I have not finished reading the last book in the series yet, which is The Ship of Lost Souls, but I have read half of the book and I love it so far. I think my favorite book in the Emily Wins Snap collection is The Siren's Secret. That one is definitely my favorite so far. But anyways, we're talking about books. Not just any books though, like my favorite books. The books that I've read, and I'm going to tell you guys the books I've read more than once because I love them so much. So, as you can see, I have my huge table full of books here, and these are all books from my room. Just in my room. And last night I was complaining because I was like, I need more books. And I do. I need more books, guys. You can't have too many books. Seriously. Just okay. So I'm going to go through like each book, tell you a little bit about it and what exactly I loved about it and what got my fascination with it. As you saw, right now I'm reading the 7th book in the Ranger's Apprentice series by John Flanagan, and I love Ranger's Apprentice. This is probably my favorite series that I've read. It's got 12 books, and he just started on the Early Years series, which has 2 books already. I got these on pre-order, so they're hardcover and huge, but I wanted them so bad, and I'm waiting until I finish reading the whole Ranger's Apprentice series before I start on the Early Years, because then I'm going to read the Early Years and then go back and read the Ranger's Apprentice books again. What's interesting is that the book number 7 is actually supposed to be book number 6, and he wrote them out of order, but I still love it, but I'm going to probably put book 7 where book 6 is and move book 6 up to book 7's spot. But anyways, I love the Ranger's Apprentice series so much. It is like my favorite series to read, and it's got everything that I love for a good adventure story. It's got swords, it's got knives, it's got battles, it's got bows and arrows, it's got people in cloaks, it's got everything that you would want. It's such a great series. I highly recommend it. And yeah, I'm hoping that maybe someday John Flanagan will come to Missouri and I'll be able to go to one of his book signings because that would be really cool. But anyways, so over here I've got the How to Train Your Dragon series, which I have not read completely. I think I've read most of book 1. I got the How to Train Your Dragon book 1 collector's edition, which was when How to Train Your Dragon 2 was coming out, so it's got this cover, but it's a collector's edition, and then I have all the other books regular. Yeah, I guess you guys can see it. So yeah, there's 12 books in this series too, right? There's 11 books. Oh wait, maybe, no, I think there is 12 books and I just don't have book 12. I couldn't find it yet. I'm not fully sure. Anyways, we've got the Pixie Hollow series. This was a series I used to love whenever Pixie Hollow still existed, you know, like whenever all the fairies came out, like Tinkerbell and everything, all those movies came out. It's really cool to read like these books because they inform you so much like about the different characters in the Pixie Hollow series and everything. And I loved those books growing up, especially Fairy Dust and the Quest for the Egg, because this one is really cool. It's where Prilla comes in, and Prilla is just such a sweet fairy, and she doesn't know what her talent is, and it's a great series. Over here I have the Trixie Belden mystery series that me and my mom collect. These are actually her books, but she lets me keep them in her room. These are my favorite mystery books of all time. I love Trixie Belden and Honey, and like I used to collect American Girl dolls. Anyways, I kind of stopped now because American Girl kind of went downhill over the last few years. But anyways, I actually made a Trixie Belden doll and a Honey doll and a Jim doll that I kind of turned a doll into. But anyways, my favorite book in the Trixie Belden series has got to be the Happy Valley Mystery. That is my favorite. The Happy Valley Mystery. I love this book so much. It's where the gang goes out of state. They go to visit, who was it? Yeah, it was Uncle Andrew. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading the back. Because I can't remember exactly where they went, but they went somewhere else to visit Uncle Andrew. Anyways, at the end, it's just, I'm actually not going to spoil it in case you guys ever want to read these books or haven't read these books, but if you have read these books, then definitely shoot me a comment down below because I love talking about books, Trixie Belden books, like especially because my mom grew up reading these, so she got me into them, and I love this series. For those of you that are like, what about Nancy Drew? Oh my gosh. Nancy Drew is so boring, you guys. How do you read it? I read like the first book and I couldn't even finish it. And it was just so boring. And at the time I started reading it, I was like, I think I was Nancy Drew's age when I started reading it, so I thought it was cool. I was like, cool, a female detective that's my age. That's awesome. But it's just so boring. I could not get past it. It's so boring. I cannot read a book unless I'm like really interested in it. Like unless it gets my attention within the first few chapters, it usually just goes sitting on a shelf again. Anyways, another series that I love is the My Side of the Mountain series. It has 3 books. It's such a good series. The first book is my favorite. It is the best book. The other 2 are okay. I'm not a huge fan of the other 2 books, but the first book is great. I have read My Side of the Mountain at least 4 or 5 times. I read it once with my mom, and I read it just. It makes me long for the outdoors so much, so don't read it in winter because it sucks if you're stuck indoors during the winter and you can't go out. But anyways, another series is The Mouse and the Motorcycle. I always get this confused though. I always think it's Ralph and the Motorcycle, but it's The Mouse and the Motorcycle. But the other 2 books have Ralph in the title, so I don't know. But anyways, as you guys can see, this book has kind of been through it. It's definitely a worn book. My mom used to read this book to me all the time when I was little. I have probably read this book at least 15 times because I love this story so much. The Mouse and the Motorcycle, you guys should get it. It's a great book. In this other pile here, I've got the Adine Chronicles, or the Adine Chronicles. I'm not exactly sure how you say that, but if you guys know how to say it, then comment down below how you're supposed to say it, and if you've read this series. I've read the first book. The first book was really good, actually. I really enjoyed the first book. It definitely leaves you in kind of a suspense, sort of, and it makes you kind of tense, and it's just like, oh my gosh, what happens next? Because it does have some, like, a little bit of a creepy stuff, but it is kind of a Christian series. I think it's based around, like, Christian stuff. I found it in a Christian bookstore, so, but anyways, I haven't gotten to read the other two books. I got the first two books whenever I was skating and was in Chicago a lot. Me and my mom went to the Christian Family bookstore that was close to our hotel when we went up there. But I had to order the last and third book on Amazon because I couldn't find it anywhere. And Barnes & Noble hadn't ever even heard of this series. But yeah, the first book is great. I can't really speak for the second two books. I've started reading the second book, Flight of the Outcasts, and it's okay. It's kind of not interesting me enough to pick it up for a bit, but it is a good first book. This book is actually a true story. The Indian Captive, the story of Mary Jemison. This is a great book, y'all. Like, it is really sad in some spots, but overall it's a really good book. And it's a true story, so you like really, I mean, it's just a really good book. And I'm Native American, so, well, it's in my heritage. So, I really like books about Native Americans and stuff like that. Like, actual stories, though. Like, history books kind of bore me sometimes. Like, it depends on the history book, I guess. But this is a really good book. I recommend it. You can find it at Barnes & Noble. It's got a Newbery honor for it, so yeah. But that's a really good book. This is probably the book I have... Oh gosh, you guys can see this book. This book has been read a few times. You can see the cover is bent. The pages are definitely soft at the top. I have read this, I'm still reading this book, I guess. I got to chapter 13 in this book on my last reread. Anyways, this book is called The Fairies of Nutfolk Wood. It is about a girl named Willow Jane, and her parents just got divorced. She moved to this place. She meets this elderly woman, and she sees fairies, and it's so cool. It's a great story, you guys. Like, I don't want to tell you guys too much about these books because I want you guys to actually go and get them so you can read them yourself. But I've read this book probably at least 7 or 10 times because I love this book so much. I love this story. I found it at Barnes & Noble, but you can find anything on Amazon pretty much, so if you can't find it at Barnes & Noble, go to Amazon, you'll find it there. But Fairies of Nutfolk Wood, that is a great, great story. Like I said, I've read it so many times. This is actually my Passion Translation Psalms coloring book kind of thing, but it is the Bible, but you can see that my spine here is definitely creased. I read this every night before I go to bed. I love it. It's the guy that does the Passion Translation does a really good job, and the illustrations are like really cool. Actually, like, you guys know that I got my tattoo design out of this, so there's the page I got my tattoo design out of. As you can see. Can you see? There we go. Anyways, yeah, I got I have my compass tattoo. It was inspired by this design. I actually just changed it up a little bit. But anyways, yeah, Psalms Poetry on Fire by the Passion Translation. It's a great one. And if you get the illustrated journaling edition, you get the pictures to color too, which is really fun. This is actually the last book I finished reading. I just finished reading it last night. And it's so good, guys. The Dragon with a Chocolate Heart. This this is a great book. It's about this dragon that gets turned into a human and becomes a chocolatier apprentice. And okay, you guys know I love dragons, so obviously I read dragon books. I have several in my room that I didn't bring out because I haven't read them yet. But this is a really great book. I got it at Barnes & Noble, and I'm sure you guys can get it there too, if not Amazon. So, yeah. But anyways, this is a great book, The Dragon with a Chocolate Heart. Great story. Highly recommended. Get it, read it. Tell me what you think down in the comments because, like I said, I just finished reading it. This book, you know they say you should never judge a book by its cover? Well, actually, I have a tendency to do that. If the cover interests me, then I want to check out what the book is about. So this book is called The Great Unexpected. Look at this cover. That is a really cool cover, and it interested me. I was like, wow, that is a cool cover. I wonder what the story is about. So anyways, this book was probably the most confusing book I ever read. No joke, most confusing book I've ever read, but I enjoyed reading it for some reason. Anyways, it's like this book goes back and forth between two different stories, and then it eventually merges together, and it's definitely unexpected. But it's a good book. You guys should check this out too. It's called The Great Unexpected by Sharon Creech. Yeah. So if you guys ever check out this book, comment down below. I want to know what you guys thought of it. Was it confusing to you guys too? Did you follow the story like super easily? Because I did not. But anyways, so yeah, books. Books are amazing. I love books. Like, not all books. Like, you guys can dislike this video if you want to when I say that I've never read Harry Potter, I've never seen any of the movies, and I don't like Harry Potter either. So there you go, there's my truth for the day. Well, actually I've only been speaking the truth, so I guess it's kind of the same. If you guys hear weird sounds, it's Tyson. He's sitting under me and licking his paw. Tyson, stop it. Anyways, but yeah, so I don't read Harry Potter. I don't read like Percy Jackson or anything. This is what I read. I love books like this. I love adventure books. Like, seriously, Ranger's Apprentice. Get it. At least get the first book. If you're not hooked by the first book in the Ranger's Apprentice series, then the series is not for you. But I have a feeling that it's going to get you hooked on the first book because it's so good. I love the Ranger's Apprentice series. Like, you have no idea how much I love this series. If you love this series so much, Danielle, why haven't you finished reading? Because I'm a YouTuber. I'm busy. I have to film things. And I don't always have time to read. And I have a job, too, so I don't always have time to read. But when I do, I love reading. I can... Let me see. Where... This book. Whoop. Emily Winsnap and the Land of the Midnight Sun. I got this book, I read it in a day. Actually, not even a day. It took me like 5 hours to read this. And I loved every minute of it. This book has... Let's see. What's the end of the book? Chapter 18. This book has 272 pages in it, and I read it in 5 hours. I loved this book as well, but I think still my favorite book in this series is The Siren's Secret. But Emily Winsnap is really what got me into reading more. Thank you, Mom, for bringing me home the first Emily Winsnap book. You hooked me on books forever. So now I go to the bookstore. I love looking at books. Seriously. Have you guys ever seen that meme? It's like with Willy Wonka, the original Willy Wonka, and it's like, I see a bookstore while I'm at the mall with my friends or something, and it's like, let me take you to a world of pure imagination. And it's like, yes. I relate so much to that meme because it's true. Books are amazing. I love books. So what I want you guys to do is, since I've talked about my favorite books today, I want to know what your favorite books are. Like, what kind of books do you guys read? Like, have you read any of the books that I've read in this pile here? I want to know. I want you to comment down below. And, oh yeah, my shirt is also appropriate today. It is my Keep Calm and Ranger On shirt, which I had made because I love Ranger's Apprentice. I have another one that's a brighter green that says, Keep Calm, I'm a Ranger's Apprentice. The reason I love Ranger's Apprentice so much is because they do archery, and you never find, like, good books with, like, real archers. And so I connect so much with this book. Like, I'm going to stop talking about Ranger's Apprentice, I'm sorry. Hey, John Flanagan, if you ever see this video, I love Ranger's Apprentice. Please do not stop making books like this. I love them so much, and I want to read more. And also hit me up on YouTube because I would love an autograph. Anyways, so yeah, actually hit us up on our Facebook page because we have a Facebook page. It's linked down in the description. So John Flanagan or any of the other authors of the books that I'm raving about here today, if any of you ever see this video, please hit us up on Facebook. I would love to get an autograph from you guys, like sign my favorite book. Where was I going? Oh yeah, okay, so guys, comment down below what your favorite books are. I want to know what kind of stuff you guys read, and like if you've read any of the books that I have here today, like talk to me about them. I love talking about books, like what your favorite part is, like if you saw a certain part coming or not, like if something was just completely out of the blue. So yeah, like talk to me about books. This is something we can connect on, guys, and girls, and buds, and everyone. Book lovers. Yes, book lovers. But anyways, also, give this video a like if you think I need more books. Because, like, I have some more in my room that I just haven't read that I didn't bring out yet. But, you know, I need more books, guys. Like, a lot more books. I should go to the bookstore. Sorry, let me wrap up this video. Anyways, but I will see you on Saturday for Challenge Day. I'm not sure what our challenge is going to be yet, but we're going to figure it out. And I will see you then. Like I said, drop me some comments down below and talk about books. I want to know what kind of books you guys read. I want to know what kind of books you like. I want to know if you've read any of these books. Like, especially Ranger's Apprentice and Trixie Belden. Like, I want to know what you guys read. Like, I'm seriously interested. So, I will talk to you guys about books in the comments, and I will see you there. Bye, buds! Okay, buds, so I finished my video, like, I'm not wearing a watch. A few hours ago. I finished it a couple of hours ago, and talking about books, and thinking about how I need more books, just made me want to go get my books, because I got paid for last week. Working. So I went to Barnes & Noble and I got some books. So I'm going to show you the books I got just to add to the book thing. So I got the 12th book in the How to Train Your Dragon series. So I was psyched about that because I hadn't been able to find it. I got Inkheart. If any of you have ever seen the movie Inkheart, it's a really great movie. It's about this father and daughter that when they read out loud, stuff comes to life. And so I was looking through books and stuff at Barnes & Noble, and I saw Inkheart, and I was like, oh, So I pulled it out and I read a couple of pages in it just to make sure it was the same book, and it is. So I'm excited to be able to read Inkheart the book instead of just watching the movie, because, you know, the movies are a lot different than the books actually are. Like, How to Train Your Dragon is completely different than the book series, because in the movies, Toothless is this huge dragon, but in the book series, he's just this teeny little thing, and it's, like, really different. But anyways, I also got The Fire Within. I've been wanting to check out this series because it sounded interesting, and I love books on dragons. So, yeah, I got that. I'm excited to check that out. I got this book called Granted. And it's about, like, fairies that grant wishes and stuff, and so I thought that was, it had me interested, so I got that as well. And the last book I got, is this. It's called Lost in a Book. It's a Beauty and the Beast book, but it's an original story, I guess. I guess Belle finds this enchanted book in the library and actually goes into the book. And so that had my attention. I'm not a huge Beauty and the Beast fan, but, you know, I always wanted to go to that library. Am I right, fellow bookworms and book dragons? I prefer book dragon other than bookworm because I like dragons more. But yeah, you can call me a bookworm, you can call me a book dragon, whatever. But yeah, so I just added these 5 new books to my collection. And I'm excited to start reading them because I needed more books, and now I have 5 new books. I'm going to be good for a little bit, but I'm sure I'll still get more books. But anyways, that is it for today, buds. This is really it for today, buds. Comment down below your favorite books, your favorite series, anything that you guys have read, like especially recently. I want to talk to you about it. Like, and any books you recommend, like, yeah, I might check them out just to see what you guys like. So, yeah, I will see you guys down in the comments, and I will see you on Saturday. Bye, bye.